Hello and welcome. My name is Zak Robinson. You may also know me as ZeroEmpires.
And I am Wrobel, lead of the balance team. We have a very exciting match for you guys today. We have Frank playing as the blue Rus in the north.
And down to the south in the red, we have Mark, and he's playing as the Holy Roman Empire. This is a 1 versus 1 show match here on the Arabia map, and we're super excited to share some awesome gameplay with you all today. So Frank playing as the Rus to the north. The Rus as a civilization, they are master hunters. They're also very good with cavalry. They get access to the early knight, which they can make in the feudal age, as well as the mounted warrior monk and the horse archer. And already you can see he's built his unique building, the hunting cabin here next to the wood line, and he's trained an early scout to go out across the map and take advantage of his bounty system. This is another system unique to the Rus, where they get gold for killing Gaia, and with that gold they build up bounty points. The more points they get, the more prizes they get, Eric.
Oh, I love prizes. What do they get, Johnny?
They get more villager gather rate for food, and their hunting cabins generate gold faster as well. So this is a really awesome start for Frank getting out here, killing the deer. Tell us a bit about the Holy Roman Empire.
Love it. So their focuses are on religion and defenses. So a lot of times as this civilization, they will want to get some extra gold, so they're able to take advantage of that really early in the game. So you see he's sent 4 guys out there to get gold mine, whereas on the Rus side, he hasn't even built the mine, right? So he's just running around collecting pellets, getting cash. And then down here, you can see he's invested in the wheelbarrow really early at the mill, so he wanted that so badly. He hasn't even put the mill next to berries or anything. He just threw it out there.
Berries are over here.
Yeah, he's like, whatever. Shortest walking distance possible. I just went that wheelbarrow. So he's getting that. He'll reduce the travel time of his villagers. They'll spend more time working and less time slacking off, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the prelate. So no other civ can build a religious unit from their town center, but the HRE, that's sort of the cool special thing, is for 100 gold, they can build this unit. And you see first he produced a couple of workers because it buffs every single worker you have, and it can buff up to 10. So you see, yeah, he's got 9 there, so he wanted to make sure he had built a whole bunch. And now it's out, and it'll buff all 9 of those guys, and it gives them 40% extra gather rate. This is really powerful.
Yeah, it's very strong. And on top of that, the Holy Roman Empire, as a civ bonus, they get to carry 40% more resources as well. So buffing those villagers under the town center, get that sheep meat, and that will really help his early economy. On the other side, we have Frank, and he's also doing wheelbarrow, coming in a little bit later though. And for him, he's focused at the moment on just killing the Gaia around the map. He's already working on killing some deer. He's also going after a wolf, and that will actually give him more bounty as well. A deer is 10, but a wolf will give him 25. He's already built that up to 300.
Wow,
so he's already getting
busy.
10% faster food harvest rate. In his wood line now, he's actually adding a wooden fortress. This is another unique Rus building, and this is not only a great defensive structure, but it also buffs nearby lumber camps within the influence, and that will cause the villagers dropping off wood there will drop 20% more. So both of these players really focused on the early game and getting their economies rolling and pumping as much as they can.
And now they're sort of transitioning to the next phase, which is building their landmark so that they can enter the feudal age. So we've got Mark here going for the Aachen Chapel. And this is really nice because instead of just being able to inspire 10 villagers, once it's completed, the prelate can hop in there, and then everything in this radius around it will be inspired. So you're able to buff a lot more than 10, and you see he's kind of built it here next to the trees so he can maximize the amount of lumber that he's chopping, and later on it can be really good. You can add some farms in there once the trees are down.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've got Frank coming in here with a couple of scouts. He's killed all the Gaia, and now he's looking for some villages or mining camps. He's not really able to kill villagers very easily in the early game, but he can certainly push them away, because if Mark stays there for too long, those villagers will go down. So running back to the safety of the town center for now. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's going up to the feudal age as well, and he's building the Golden Gate. This is a special market which always allows you to trade at a favorable rate. Every single minute you'll gain a new supply, and you'll be able to spend these on trading for a profit every single time. Wow, 4 scouts there.
That is aggressive.
Frank, burning down the mining camp. No gold for you, Mark.
Yeah, having 4 scouts is actually quite nice. You can see everything on the map really quickly.
Yeah.
Their torch damage is not bad, right? And then lastly, later in the game, there's utility of being able to pick up corpses. Oh, wow. Great use of emergency repairs. This is a special HRE ability which they can activate on anything that's within the influence of their town center. So you see it generates an influence. So you can actually build more town centers later in the game, like in the middle of the map, and build a keep there or something like that to defend it. But it will repair the building up really quickly for you and for free as well. So you don't have to waste your wood from your villagers to repair it, and you don't have to waste their resource gathering time. You can have them off gathering resources for you while the emergency repairs is active, but you can only have one at a time, and then it has a cooldown. So the enemy, maybe they could distract you. They could attack a house, get you to use it, and then kill the keep or something.
Right. And now Frank couldn't burn down the mining camp, so he's going to steal your deer instead.
The great heist. 4 scouts. There they go.
So the defensive spearmen will push them away, but they're going to get away with a little treat.
They're pretty happy with their prize.
So that's the professional scouts tech, and this allows your scouts to actually carry the carcasses. Both players already have this at the moment, but you can see already that Frank's stealing away 4 of those deer, and Mark is grabbing some deer as well. He wants to bring them home, and he wants to specifically bring them in the range of this Archon Chapel, because villagers gather from deer very quickly, and if they can do so under the safety of the town center with a 40% gather rate bonus, he's just stacking those
strong.
bonuses together.
So strong, yeah.
Really good.
This matchup in general, these 2 civs, they both sort of have some benefit to getting the deer, where it's, either they have a bunch of scouts, so they might as well ferry the deer, or they are getting a lot more food from the deer. There's a lot of tension between these 2 civs in this matchup of trying to get those deer. Look at that, he's got 6.
He's going all out.
He's just picked them all up, right?
Absolutely. So both these players so far then, we've got some military buildings coming down. We've got the archery range and the stable from Frank. That's a pretty popular combo, right? Archers and cavalry. You've got maneuverability on the side of the cav. You've got the range on the side of the archers. And even a blacksmith in the back here to improve his archer damage with the steeled arrow. On the other side, Mark, he's building out to the right. He's already got 2 stables, and he's going for a barracks. So he's
double
going for
barracks,
the
double
early
stables.
spearmen here as well. So yeah, it's going to be archers and horsemen against horsemen and spears.
This game is going to get aggressive. It looks like that's a lot of production early. So you can see he's really took advantage of all that early wood that he was able to chap, because he had the chapel in his area. And so he went more for like a raw out military production, and he's a bit slower to be getting the upgrades, but since he's going to have so many units, the upgrades will be super powerful when he gets them. But it looks like he's trying to start an early push here, huh?
Yeah, he's trying to hunt down the scouts with his spears, but he's having a hard time catching them. And of course, that's the advantage of cavalry, right? You have the movement speed, although Mark will catch the horsemen here. And these spearmen do plus 16 against cavalry, so that's triple damage. Very, very high damage against cavalry units. The scouts are really just trying to steal the deer, but now he's got some horsemen. He might be able to chase them down and prevent any more deer from being stolen away. On the other side, we've also got some horsemen here from Mark. Looks like he wants to try and raid, but before doing that, he wants to bring them back and just try and catch out the scouts, really, and stop them from stealing any more of his deer.
Oh,
he still can.
He got one.
Nice.
Oh, I think he's going to get some more.
I think they've met their end. Oof.
There's so 2 left. They just dropped the corpse right where they die. So he may send his scout over there and try to pick him up himself, right?
Yeah, and of course, the more food you can secure, the better.
He chased down and killed one more scout. There were 6 to begin with, and I think only 1 made it out alive. So
now the archers are coming in. Archers going to be absolutely taking care of these spearmen here, and the horsemen from Mark coming in as well. Quite a lot of micro at the moment, as both players trying to jostle for position, trying to get the spearmen onto the cav and the horsemen onto the archers.
Yeah, we have a very hard counter unit system in our game, so the horsemen are doing double damage to the archers, so you want to get your horsemen onto the archers as much as possible, but the spearmen are doing triple damage to the horses, so you want to try to run the horses away from the spearmen and towards the archers, so there's a lot of sort of back and forth dancing in the game, which is very cool to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth micro, and it looks like Frank's been pushed all the way back home. Mark, with the additional military production buildings, we saw 2 stables and 2 barracks here against basically 2 stables and a range. He's just overwhelmed Frank, and Frank's now pushed back to his town center, but at this stage of the game, it can be quite hard to push in. He has got the wooden fortress. He's also got 20 villagers in the town center.
It's a lot of firepower.
Yeah, he's taking quick care of those units that are pushing a bit too close, and he can push back now with his defender's advantage. So things are already getting pretty scrappy.
This is a spicy game.
Wow, we're seeing a second town center from Frank now.
That's a bold play, considering how badly he's getting pushed right now, huh?
Exactly. Instead of investing into more military, he's going for the economic route, and we'll see if Mark can punish this. But in Age of Empires 4, you can add a town center in the second age. So he's really investing in this. It's very expensive. We'll see if it pays off for Frank and if he can hold against the onslaught of Mark here.
Yeah, spending 700 resources this soon is quite a lot, right? That's almost 10 less units. And you can see already, he doesn't quite have the units to defend this hunting cabin, which is generating some free gold for him. So he's trying to push it off, but I think Mark has a pretty big army, and he's going to be able to push it up. Yep, now he's coming in with the spearmen, and those cavalry have to retreat. They're not going to be able to fight the spearmen. So now he's able to burn down the hunting cabin. Yeah,
hunting cabin goes down. And as the roost, if you have great map control, you can put these hunting cabins all over the place and generate a lot of free gold. But if you're in Frank's position like this, it's not really so feasible. Otherwise, you're just sort of throwing them away as your opponent scouts them and takes them out. Over here, though, look at this. We've got a boar kill from Mark. He's very confident in his position right now. He's got great map control. He's pushing right up to Frank's base. So he's taking the opportunity to kill a boar out here. And that's the fastest source of food in the game for him. So he'll be getting a lot of
2,000 of it too, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of food right there.
It's risky. The boar is pretty dangerous, right? Like we should probably warn the Age 2 players if they're trying to get boar in this game.
Yeah, they're a lot tougher than you might be used to. But they're really worth it, right? 2,000 food,
totally.
Very fast gather rate. But the risk is there as well. The fact that you're out in the middle of the map, it is dangerous. But for Mark, a good offense is the best defense sometimes, and he's out here and taking the fight to Frank right now.
Yeah, and he's got a nice mix of spearmen and cavalry, so he can defeat the enemy cavalry and also run around and raid.
Okay.
Goodbye.
What happened there? Frank, he's trying to go up to Age 3. He's going for a fast Age 3. I think he got a bit optimistic.
Yeah,
with this
a little
placement.
bit.
He's going to rebuild it in the back by the looks of things. This is the Abbey of the Trinity, and this is the Age 3 landmark now. This allows him to make his unique warrior monk, and they also have some special upgrades in there as well, and the monks are half price. So the warrior monk, it's a mounted monk basically. It's very fast. It's also got a buff ability which will buff nearby units when it attacks and give them armor and attack. So we might see that in use, but I think Frank will probably want to grab some relics here quite quickly.
Yeah, their extra move speed is primo, picking up those relics and denying the other player from getting them. And it looks like he's also trying to harass and take out some of these production facilities. So I'm wondering what his response will be, because he knows that the landmark is coming down because he saw it get destroyed right in front of his eyes. So basically he has to choose, does he want to commit to a really big attack, or does he want to try to tech himself and sort of catch up?
Knowing Mark, he's probably just going to attack.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, but there's some really good defense, right? Because he's got the wooden fortress that has 8 garrison slots instead of the normal tower only has 5. And the way the garrison mechanic works in our game is that every unit garrison gives you 1 extra arrow. So if you put 8 guys in there, that means you're firing 8 extra arrows. So it really ramps up the damage of these defenses if you're able to pop some guys in there.
Of course, it comes at the cost of maybe idling your villagers, but it's worth it if it keeps you in the game. And Frank can afford to idle some vills. He had it in the second town center.
Absolutely.
But yeah, now he's in the castle age. He's going to be training that first warrior monk, and it looks like he's going to be going out to try and grab some relics. I like this. I want to call attention to this. Frank has a couple of scouts out on the map, and they are chilling in the stealth forest. So the stealth forest mechanic, you can hide units in there, and your opponents can't necessarily see in, but you can see out. So it gives you a lot of vision on the map, and also allows you to potentially spring some ambushes as well.
Yeah, and the scout is the perfect unit in there because normal units don't have a big line of sight, but the scout in there can see a lot of stuff and nothing can see it. So they don't even know that you can see them, right? So yeah, great for ambushes. And it looks like, so we've got to the third age here for Frank, and it looks like he's built some of his unique units here.
Yeah, this is the Horse Archer. Again, another mounted unit unique to the roofs. And this one is pretty strong because it's got the mobility, of course, and the Archer's sort of lacking that mobility. But it's also kind of weak against other ranged units. So at the moment, that's great for him because Mark doesn't have any ranged units. It's all horsemen and hardened spearmen at the moment. So it's a pretty good unit to use at this stage of the game. But Frank lacking a lot of units at the moment. He seems to be vastly outnumbered, maybe looking to potentially counterattack with some raids here.
Yeah, you're right. Great choice of unit, because you're sort of, while you're getting the mobility, you're sort of paying for that because it's more expensive than an archer, and its hit points are not very high, especially considering how expensive it is resource-wise. So you kind of really need to get some value out of that because in a straight-up fight, archers would be more powerful. So that's why he just goes immediately for the raid.
This is great from Mark. He's already catching some villagers out, and Frank's probably feeling quite constricted at the moment as these cavalry keep chasing him down whenever he needs his pace.
He's getting attacked on the north and the south and the middle right now.
It's all happening.
Wow.
But Mark is going to get raided on the other side. You can see the horse archers coming in now, and wow, just look at that beautiful farming economy. I love it. He's losing villagers, though, on the gold, and Frank there, I don't think Mark's even realised. I don't think he's expecting them to be raided on
He's like, I'm attacking you in 4 spots. You can't be attacking me also.
Yeah, the minimap is chaos right now. It's stuff happening everywhere. Look at this. More
he ran back in, yep.
Over in the side. This is a real scrappy game, and of course the pressure came in so early, it's very difficult for either player to get any walls up or anything like that. Yeah, and it looks like Mark is really committed to this feudal age, but he's decided now is the time to go to Age 3 with the Burgrave Palace.
And the Burgrave is a great choice in this situation because he knows his opponent has already gone for the Abbey Trinity, already has the warrior monks out, and is able to quickly go onto the map and take the relics. So his other choice, landmark choice, is holding relics and getting a big bonus for them, but there aren't going to be any relics by the time he gets there.
None left.
Yeah, they're all going to be gone. Yeah. They've gotten eaten up. So since he knows what he's playing against when he's up against, he's decided to go for the Burgrave Palace, which is, instead of like an overtime economic building, it's more of a power spike where you get 5 barracks effectively at the same time, so you can really put the pressure to the enemy once you complete this.
Yeah, and the HRE are a infantry civilization. They have the unique Landsknecht, which is a castle age unit. We might see that on the field. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail when we do. But yeah, it looks like Frank has managed to push Mark away for now as he goes up to the next age. And he's really going hard on these towers here. He's actually upgraded this one with the Springald, which is an emplacement which essentially you can upgrade on each individual fortress. It equips a really high damage Springald, and that's a single target, high damage defensive emplacement essentially. It does a lot of damage to raiding units, especially those with high health.
Yeah, that's one of the unique things about the wooden fortresses. They can just get all the upgrades, right? Like, normally you gotta kind of choose at the other outposts, but that's the cool wooden fortress special power is get them.
Yeah, we've got a raid coming in here, and the Burgrave Palace is up. So we'll see if Mark's going to be putting that to good use soon.
He's got a lot of food. So.
Oh yeah, he's putting a lot.
he'll be putting all his production facilities to work. I think he was kind of stepping off a little bit and waiting because he knew he was going to get age 3 soon. He could get some upgrades in on his units, and he'd be a lot better at taking fights and even just raiding, right? Because all your veteran horsemen are going to have more health and more damage. So they're just going to be much better at fighting villagers.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like he's getting ready to take the fight back to Frank. He's continuing to raid, but Frank's getting another warrior monk here, and conversion!
Oh,
he's gonna try it.
Oh no, run away, run away!
Oh, wow, there you go. So conversion in Age of Empires 4, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit.
As you can see, the big blue circle. Anything in there at the end of the timer will be converted, so you get some time to react. But Mark there managed to get his units out of the way before the conversion came in, and Frank was able to zone them out. It's a great zoning tool.
Yeah, especially when the enemy is in your base killing your workers, and you pop that down. He has to decide, does he want to kill some more of your workers, or does he want to save his army, right? So he picked save his army. I think that was a good choice.
Absolutely. It can be quite a big swing, but players do have plenty of time to react as well. So we'll see now. I mean, Mark is posted up right outside of Frank's base. He's got the veteran archers out here, but he doesn't have many, and that's a lot of horsemen. So I don't think he's going to want to take this fight. I think he wants to probably get back, to be honest.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's kind of overstayed his welcome here, it looks like.
He's surrounded as well. Oh no, Frank is losing a lot of archers here.
Oh, yikes.
He's got to be very careful as he kites back, but ouch.
He's made really good use. This wooden fortress has really paid for itself, though, right? And he's got a springald in that one too, right?
Yeah, as soon as he comes back towards this defensive line, it gets very difficult for Mark to push in. And Frank as well, and he's done a great job of collecting the relics. Because the warrior monk is on a horse, he does move that much faster. He's already got 3 relics inside of the Abbey of Trinity. He's got another one inside of the monastery. And now in the south, he's even capturing the sacred site. Maybe you could tell us a bit more about the sacred victory.
Yeah, so this is kind of a new thing in our game. There's generally 3 sites, but not necessarily on every map. And each site that you take control of will trickle gold into you. So regardless, it's nice to just have them. And if you have all 3 of them, that starts the victory timer for sacred sites. And if you can hold them before the timer expires, then you just win the game. So it requires a lot of map control to have all 3 of them. And once the enemy brings any unit in there, if you're not in there too, then he'll start taking it away from you.
Oh, you see that happening now. Mark, he immediately reacted.
He's like, hey, you trying to get free gold? I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he took away the monk, and then he's decapping the site, basically. It's quite difficult to hold all 3, but it's a great victory condition if you've got good map control, which Mark has. So, look at that. I see. Landsknecht. There you go. So the Landsknecht is an awesome unit. Tell us a little bit more about it.
So he's got some sort of strengths and weaknesses, which is really great balance point for the unit. So its weaknesses, it's got pretty low health relative to most of the units, and it's kind of expensive, but his damage is huge. So it's an enormous 2-handed sword.
Enormous.
It
is huge.
This is a big sword. And it does an AoE damage when he cleaves and attacks. So not only is he hitting the first target, but he's also hitting all the guys around him. And he's pretty quick for an infantry. He's one of the fastest infantry out there. So he makes a really great raider, being the run in there and kill stuff. Yeah. He does an excellent job against just anything where it kind of bunches up and is tight. So spearmen in particular, he can just cleave the spearmen down really quickly. And since he's got quite a large cavalry army, that's a really nice combination, mixing those 2 units together.
Yeah, and they also get the... I'm just trying to find his blacksmith. He's already got it. So the HRE,
he's on it.
Yeah, they get a unique tech which also allows their infantry to move faster as well. So it really sort of compounds with that fast move speed of the Landsknecht. And he's got a really mixed army here. He's got knights, he's got horsemen, he's got spearmen, he's got Landsknecht. So in our game, we really want to encourage players and reward players for building mixed army compositions. The counter system is very hard, and if you get caught building just one unit of one type, you can be easily countered. And so by mixing his army together, he's really kind of covering all bases, and he's doing a great job of that here as he upgrades his spearmen as well.
Yeah, one thing he is missing though is he doesn't have a lot of siege damage. Like torches are decent, but he doesn't have cannons or trebuchets or rams or whatever. So and keeps in particular, it's a big sturdy stone structure, right? Yeah. So it's not really easy to burn down with torches, right? So you can see the extra torch armor on this building, and So he started attacking it a couple times and then kind of gave up, right? He was like, oh, this isn't working out.
Yeah, he's diving under here. And there's a lot of archers here from Frank. If he pops them back out of the archery range, he's also repairing on the other side. And the keep here, it's taking a battering, but it's also doing so much damage as well. And oh wow, what's this?
Oh, Mangonel.
Mangonel's coming in, getting a little bit too close for comfort actually. But I think he might have to give up on killing the keep. He's getting a huge amount of value out of this structure.
Yeah, and really just distracting all these infantry while the cavalry run in and burn down the Mangonels is a lot of value. Like, Mangonel is an expensive unit, right? So you really got to protect those things.
Oh, we got another Mangonel here as well.
Oh, a counter Mangonel!
Wow, Mark is taking so much damage here. If he doesn't get the keep, it's really
this
not
is going
worth
to be
it.
a huge loss, yeah.
But he might get the keep.
Oh,
no,
burning oil, it just finished. Oh, that's the retreat sign. As soon as he saw that, he knew he had to get out.
That was pretty clutch. So boiling oil is researched now, which means that any units that come close to the keep will get burned. We might see it in action here in just about there.
Oh, yep. Got him again. So it looks like he's trying to maybe just siege it down with some Mangonels and not go in with the cavalry anymore, but he's also being attacked by some archers. There's some knights going on. There's a lot of stuff distracting, and he's getting his repairs off, so I think this keep is going to stand. Oh, no, he's going to lose another Mangonel.
Oh, it's so expensive.
Oh,
Mangonels
devastating.
are not cheap, and that one's going to go down as well. Meanwhile, he's raiding at the back. Did he close this wall? I think he did. So the Rus, they don't get stone walls, but they do get fortified palisades. Fortified palisade walls, they only cost wood. They have so much health, though.
Beefy.
And although you can't put units on top of them like stone walls, they're quite a formidable defense even still.
And they actually build a little bit faster than the normal wall as well, so you can get them down there pretty quick. So yeah, they're pretty clutch.
Wow. Frank, getting a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah,
now,
he's been attacked constantly, just over and over and over again.
I'm getting worn out watching. Wow, Mark is really starting to pile on the siege now. The Castle Age is really where the siege options start to open up. We've got a number of Mangonels. We've also got a couple of Springolds in here. The Springold is a counter-siege unit. It does a single target, high damage, but it's got a huge bonus against siege, plus 20, and that essentially gives them the extra firepower to deal with any defensive Mangonels as well.
Yeah, and they have a little bit more range too, so you can kind of stand at the perimeter and pick them off. And they're faster and they set up quicker as well. So yeah, they're much more mobile, sort of flexible tool, but they're doing single target damage. Mangonel does AoE. So you'd prefer to build an army of only Mangonels, but you want to mix in those Springolds just in case they have some Mangonels of their own, which we did see, right?
Yeah, we saw Mangonels from both, and Mangonels are so good against groups of units. No,
groups of units like those villagers! Oh no!
Oh, and the archers as well. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This is so much. Getting
Devastating.
sieged here. This is awesome.
Oh, and one more hit on those villagers. Oh,
one
God.
more, and they're all
so
all gonna
low.
die. They're gone. They're done for. Wow. Frank here was not expecting so much siege to roll up and start laying waste to his base. But meanwhile, he is raiding as well.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So he is responding. Archers and horsemen, knights mixed in as well, getting in there on the farms of Mark. Mark losing a few villas and also having to idle a whole heap of his economy.
Yeah, he doesn't even have enough garrison slots because the town center holds 20 villagers, but unlike on the other side, there's no wooden fortresses, there's no, because you can't build them, right? There's no outposts, there's no keep, so he looks like he was not ready for this counter raid.
Yeah, and he's wide open. He's not walled himself up. He felt pretty good in his position.
He was so aggressive. He was keeping the enemy in the base. He's like, I'm safe, I'm fine. But yeah, that keep really turned things around, and he didn't set up the defenses.
Oh, it really did. Now he's paying the price as gets raided here. He is going to clean this up, though. He's done a good job of responding, and maybe he'll think about getting some of his own walls up soon as the Lance Connect go to work.
Oh, yeah, look at him just cut those cavalry down.
And taking them out.
I just like watching them work. I love when they charge, when they run and jump.
Just straight over.
Yeah, man.
Frank, though, looks like he's kind of running out of, well, maybe not running out of gold, but struggling to lock down the gold on the front of his base. So he's trying to be sneaky out here on the left side. He sent 16 villas out to grab gold in the corner of the map.
Quite the army.
Oh,
well,
look at this. The siege.
Yeah,
it's really open.
Yeah, it makes sense he didn't want to mine gold there by that. He thought it was safe having a keep there, right? But there's just too much siege, so he had to back out. And now there's cavalry versus siege, and he's got so many springolds. He's actually able to clean up that cavalry.
Yeah.
And now pushing in the mangonels don't do awesome siege damage, but they will do a decent punch. So if you can get enough hits, they will be able to take things down.
It's buildings, and this is just dangerous. I mean, how do you push into this as Frank? Well, you kind of need some of your own siege, or you need a lot of cavalry. 6 springolds is no joke, and he's kind of got no springolds right now. He's starting to build a couple, but he's really got to hold on, and you can see the strength of that palisade wall there from the Roos really just holding him out.
Taking a beating, right?
It's not going to last that long. I think Mark's going to find his way right to the front door, trying to avoid those keeps, of course, which are locking down the open area to the right. But there's a lot of cav now, and if he can get in behind, he could blow up this siege quite quickly.
He's coming in for the flank.
Oh, here it is.
He picked off he's going to pick it off. Yep. He's got the torches on it. Nice.
Is Mark too deep? Can he get out?
This looks like a one-way trip, right? Either he's going to go in and win the game, or he's going to get his army killed.
Yep, and those horsemen are just going to find their way in there, killing another springold, but now they're trapped. And the only way is to get out the gate or face these horsemen at the front, but there's more from Frank coming in at the top side, and he is doing a good job of starting to pick off these siege units, and Mark maybe getting a little bit trapped in there, does keep a lot of them alive still, but there's another keep behind here, and Frank is just throwing down all the keeps to try and defend for the time being.
I love this choice of adding more keeps, because he doesn't have any trebuchets, he doesn't have any rams, he doesn't have anything that can really punch through them, so just throwing a whole bunch of down, slow this attack down, and then let your superior economy outproduce. And he's kind of just throwing waves of horsemen at this, right, to just wear it down. And look how many siege weapons are left now, right? There's 3.
There's 3, and they're really expensive. And Mark's invested a lot into this push, and besides breaking a hole in the wall and burning an archery range, I don't think he's done much else with this.
It's not a lot of he didn't raid villagers, right?
Absolutely.
And he's slowly running away with his one last mangonel.
And back home, I mean, he really, is wide open. He has added the second town centre to the left side, so they're both making sure to keep their economies growing and rolling as much as they can. But for the time being, Mark's just going to have to back off, and Frank's just, again, bought himself some more time, and he's really starting to build up his eco back here. More hunting cabins with farms around them, really building up his food economy, and maybe thinking about the Imperial Age before too long.
Yeah, he's got a nice, solid position with his keeps there and the walls, so he knows nothing's going to get back there. So yeah, he's adding on tons of more farms, and he's also starting to saturate those gold in the middle. Oh wow, that's a great spot for a keep.
I think he suspects that, or he may have scouted even, that hey, there's some villagers out here, and this keep will just shut that down. Great reaction from Mark, though. Pulls them away immediately. And Frank, he's got enough resources to go to the Imperial Age very soon. But for the time being, building these keeps around the map, thinking about gold control and map control going into the late game. These big golds, they have 8,000 gold in them, which is twice that of the 4,000 gold from the small mines. And as they run out, players are really forced out towards the edges of the map where it's more risky. And Frank is doing a great job of, at the moment, locking that down. I'm looking for this Imperial Age landmark. What's it going to be? Where is it going to
be? Yeah, it's a big base, right?
Oh yeah, it could be anywhere in here. And, was it there?
Oh, did he just cancel it, I think?
He moved it. There we go.
No. There it
High
is.
Armory. So the High Armory, it is a siege landmark. It basically makes siege workshops nearby, reduce the cost of siege that's trained from them, and it also has some unique siege techs in there as well. So Frank's really thinking about, right, this game's going late, I want my siege, I want to make sure I've got means to destroy my opponent's base when I finally get around to it.
Yeah, and I love that choice on top of the keeps, because he's locked down the gold deposits. Siege weapons cost a lot of gold, so he's got a very solid long-term plan, which he's, I think, going to do pretty well with. But there's a pretty big raid coming in here, actually.
Look at the Monster. They're so good at killing villagers, but they die so quickly to arrow fire. They're ultimate glass cannons, really.
Yeah, when I said a big raid, I meant in terms of the devastating power of the Landsknecht. There was only 5, but 5 of them wiped out quite a few villagers pretty quickly, and he was lucky he had those keeps. If those Landsknecht had kind of run into the farming in the very back, he could have been in some pretty big trouble there.
Yeah. So Mark then, is he thinking about the Imperial Age soon? Maybe not. He's a little bit short on food at the moment. We'll see if he's going up anytime soon. But Frank, he's well on his way. And once he's up to Imperial, obviously he'll be going for some big techs, Imperial Age Elite technologies for him, and then maybe thinking about some bigger siege guns, like the Bombard, for example, which can really tear through buildings with some gunpowder. And also, potentially even, the other final Rus unique unit, which we haven't seen yet, the Streltsy.
Yeah, it's a very powerful version of the hand cannon, which gets cost reduction, and it also can get more powerful over time as it's standing there. But it looks like he's going to focus on the bombards, you think?
Yeah, going for the unique tech here in the High Armory, the fine-tuned guns. It's giving his bombards 25% faster reload time, so that is significant as he'll want to tear through his opponent's base. But look at this on the left-hand side. Well, Mark, he's going to build out 4 of these rams in the field, and it looks like he wants to launch an assault on this keep here and maybe deny Frank the long-term gold out on this left-hand side.
Yeah, this is a great spot for an attack because there's also a ton of villagers over there gathering wood that the keep is protecting them from, and 4 rams will be more than enough to take it out as long as he's able to get on those villagers and stop them from repairing or torching the rams.
Absolutely. So we'll see if he can put that to work. Obviously, Frank just reached the Imperial Age, so he invested a lot of resources into aging up. This will be a good time to push, but if Frank can see this coming, then he might be able to react in time. At the moment, though, I think he's got no idea about this. He's just chilling at home, moving his army out to the opposite side of the map, and, well, trouble is brewing in the fog of war.
Yeah, and I like how he sort of pushed in with those cavalry too, up sort of the north side of the base to make sure the army was kind of far away and not going to be able to respond to these rams. And now they're coming in.
The ram train is on the way.
They're slow, but they're powerful, right?
Oh yeah, he's got boiling oil on this keep, so he doesn't really want to get under there with his military units, but the rams will do a great job, and then he's using the horsemen to chase down the villagers as they run away, and wow, they're getting cut down.
Oh wow, he killed a lot of villagers.
Yeah.
This is a great attack. But he's got to deal with a counterattack at the same time, it looks like.
That's right, Frank raiding here with his horsemen at the same time. It's so scrappy, and he just upgraded the elite horsemen as well, so he's getting on the farms, he's getting into the wood lines, he's killing a lot of vills out here.
Yeah, and there's just not a lot of defense either.
There's stuff happening all over. Look at this.
That keep is still being attacked. There's Landsteck, there's cavalry everywhere. Are there some Streltsy?
Yeah, we got some Streltsy there coming out too. These guys are awesome. They have the huge axe, which they rest their gun on as they're firing.
I love that.
And the static deployment, where, as you said, if they stand still, they'll increase their attack speed and damage 3 times over their duration that they're stood still for.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like he's too busy running around raiding the base, so he's not going to get that bonus anymore. He's going to just focus on trying to kill as many villagers as possible. But at the same time, there's a lot of rams in his base.
Oh, and there's more.
There's more.
My goodness, you can keep adding them in. And I think Mark's just fed up of all these keeps. He wants to tear them down. And he's really got a large army in here. And Frank, it's almost like he doesn't want to respond to that. He's doing good damage inside of Mark's base, but surely he needs to respond to these rams soon.
Yeah, the Streltsy do quite well. They have guns. The guns do a lot of damage. Oh, he's got a bombard in the back. Did you see that? Oh, it just killed one of the rams. So he actually has a pretty good defense, and he's using these buildings really effectively. So normally the cavalry would be countering the Streltsy because they're light armor. So you're dealing double damage as a horseman to archers and anything light armor. But when they're all sort of protected around the archery ranges and the buildings and stuff like that, you're not getting any surface area. So they did huge damage, and now they're able to sort of sneak through the buildings and get onto the rams and take the rams out. So this was amazing defense by Frank with very, very few units, right? It was very impressive.
Yeah, the Streltsy are actually really good at killing rams, and the rams are a feudal age siege unit, right? So you can make them in the feudal age on the field with the siege engineering tech from the blacksmith. And at this stage of the game, when your opponent's got these Streltsy out, you really need to try and attack from range, bombards, trebuchets, that kind of thing, to try and defend your siege from those Streltsy, which are very, very powerful.
So now Now it looks like both players have kind of defended their bases, right? They're kind of cleared up, but I think there have been pretty heavy casualties, right?
Yeah, if we look at Frank right now, he's at 103 villagers. Mark, on the other hand, he's got down to 49. Oh no.
Devastating.
So the raids from Frank doing huge damage, and I think Mark wishes he maybe walled up a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe built like a keep, perhaps.
So Frank doing some great economic damage there, yet Mark still seems to have the map control for now, but Frank just building up his Streltsy, and that's going to get dangerous for Mark, as Mark still doesn't quite have those elite upgrades. He's not even in the Imperial Age at this stage. Looking around his base, we can't see the Imperial Age landmark anywhere.
Yep, still just veteran, no elite units yet. And again, he used that positioning really well. The Streltsy, he kind of wedged him in between that archery range and that wall there. So some cavalry ran in to engage and then realized they couldn't and then ran out. And so anytime in cavalry you're running in and running out without attacking against range units, you're just losing a lot of...
Taking free damage, basically, So Mark now, he took heavy losses there on the front. The Streltsy, really a powerhouse, and he's on the retreat. He has actually added a trebuchet, but I think it's a little late. The push from Mark has come to an end, and now it's Frank is just using his superior firepower at this stage. Mark, Imperial Age would be great for him, but
he has 200 foods, so it's looking like that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, he's in a little trouble, and Frank, just sort of higher age, better technology, superior firepower at the moment, and Mark just kind of has to fall back and defend from these elite horsemen, which are starting to raid over on this left-hand side as well. And villagers, that could be quite a few kills if he wants to take the fight, but Frank's happy to run away for now.
Yeah, he knows he has an edge. He doesn't need to sacrifice any of his units right now, right? He's just trying to get into position, and you can see the Streltsy, they're quite a bit slower than the horsemen, right? So it's taking a while to march them across the map, but if he can get them in a good position, they can build up their damage bonus, right?
Yeah, and the Mangonel could be huge. If the Mangonel can get a big shot here, it could do some really good damage to the Streltsy, but the horsemen from Frank diving in, and
the repair, look at that.
He's actually repairing the Mangonel with villagers in here.
Gosh, it's just, look at its health. It's just going down and then going up, going down. Oh, he finally finished it off. He got it. And he's backing up himself. He's got this bombard moving out. He's got his army together in the middle of the map. And he's even got a warrior monk in there as well. So if he can get that off and get the bonus armor and damage, as well as the static deployment, he can just kind of layer those bonuses together and make a big push. But for now, Mark, he's really got a sizable army. Yeah, that's quite an impressive force he's got, because we know he lost a lot of villagers. And it's not cheap to build all those units. A lot of horses.
But he is an age down. He's at age 3 horses against the Streltsy here. And he's going to come ahead and take the fight. There's some spearmen trying to get in at the back onto the cav. The Streltsy also had... was that a good shot?
It looks pretty good.
This could be a big one.
He got out. He got out.
But this is great. Look at the horsemen. They're making a wedge between the wood lines, and the Streltsy are just laying into them from the back as he dodges the Mangonel shots here. This is fantastic from
great micro and great battle positioning too. Yeah, having that line just protecting his troops with the knights, and now he's actually using the spread formation, it looks like, so that he's not clumped up taking all that AoE damage from the Mangonel.
That was a great fight for Frank, and that will convert into a game win for him as well.
Woo!
Wow. Well played.
Epic match. That was back and forth.
That was scrappy. There was non-stop action around the map, all over the place. Wow. And I think Frank, just with the superior attack advantage, Mark not having any final layers of defense, no keeps, no walls at the end there, just couldn't hold on any longer. So that's it from us at Relic Entertainment. Thank you for joining us to watch this first exclusive gameplay. We'll have more for you in the future, but until then, make sure to sign up as an Age Insider and join us for our technical stress test.
We look forward to seeing you on the battlefield in Age of Empires 4.